corn junkies. I'll say it really clearly. Now, we don't normally do this kind of thing, given we're a YouTube channel. If you haven't, subscribe. If you do subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you hit the notification bell, then go down the 3 choices and say always. And then you'll always be notified when something goes up. This is obviously on the movie side of the channel, or the streaming side of the channel. This is The Last of Us.
The Last of Us.
Episodes 5 and 6, which is really frightening, means there's only 3 more left.
Oh yeah, I forgot it was like a short season.
Why do all good things have to come to an end? Why is time time? Anyway, you've probably gathered on social media that Pedro Pascal, as if he wasn't wonderful enough before this, he's become a thing.
An absolute,
Has he become a meme?
No, it's everybody has fallen horribly in love with him.
Have they? I mean, I think the thing I like about him, and this is possibly why he's quite good as the Mandalorian, he's supremely calm and comforting.
He gives safe dad vibes.
Safe, yeah, but he gives...
Perfect for Joel.
But he gives safe dad jibes. Safe dad vibe. I've got safe dad vibes off him. He's wonderful. And what I love about his face as well and his performance is that you can see that his exterior is tough, but beneath him there is softness. He does an open face beautifully, as he does in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Okay, so episode 5. We start this with Joel and, what's her name? Ellie, essentially at gunpoint.
Yes, because that's how the previous episode
that's how episode 4 ended.
And we're introduced at gunpoint by Henry and Sam.
Henry and Sam, brothers?
Yep.
And what I like about this series is that so many people, I mean, really, most characters' loyalty is to themselves because it's about survival. So you haven't got that idea of, you don't know where sort of morals lie, you don't know whether someone could shoot you just to survive. I quite like that, there's a sort of unknowability about it. Whereas in The Walking Dead, you felt as soon as you saw another human, they all fell upon each other a bit.
Yeah, they did.
Apart from the guy with the baseball bat and things, So what did you think of the 2 brothers? They were lovely characters, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen those characters in the game, and in the show they made them both a lot younger than how they were in the... I think in the game, the younger boy, Sam, was a lot closer to Ellie's age. Right. And the older brother was a bit older as well, so it was a lot sadder because they were a lot younger in the show. Right.
Did you also say there was a difference to their relationship?
No, they were brothers in it as well. But Sam is deaf in the show, which he wasn't in the game. So I don't know if the actor that actually plays Sam.
Might be deaf himself. I thought he was gorgeous.
So adorable.
Oh my god, he was so
sweet.
The
older brother was beautiful. They were both really.
Yeah. I mean, captivating, weren't they?
Actors,
absolutely captivating. And I didn't realise that the younger boy has leukemia, is that right?
Yeah, the cat, yeah.
And so they kind of join up forces with Joel and Ellie. Joel's a bit reluctant, Joel's reluctant to hook up with anyone really, which again is about survival, isn't it?
I would be too.
Yeah, I think I would be.
If you were a lone wolf.
Yeah, alone. And also if you've had a gun held to your head, it's kind of like, I have to say, just at this point, Ellie is getting, what's the name of the actress again? Bella Ramsey is getting better and better and better, isn't she? It's almost like, given that she said at the beginning of shooting this, she wondered, due to all of the horrendous sort of trolling she was getting, that she was wrong. It's almost like she began to realise she absolutely was right. Yeah. And you can feel that their relationship off camera.
Really good casting for Ellie, honestly.
She's so good.
Really good.
She's so good.
And a lot of people are taking that back. A lot of people are saying how good she is. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. She deserves it. She really deserves it. And so they do. They head off with the 2 boys, and there's this other character, Kathleen.
Yeah.
I hate her. She's like a history teacher gone rogue.
Yeah, she's a proper Karen.
Proper Karen called Kathleen. Yeah. She's sort of threatening. She seems. The only bit about it I don't know if I found believable. I tell you, she reminded me of the drug dealer in Euphoria. Do you remember a sort of sedate woman of a middle-aged woman who's in control of everyone and everything? It didn't.
Well, because the power fell down onto her from her brother, who was killed by Henry.
So it's kind of like she was like the next in line.
Yeah, and I quite liked that because she was kind of more like a low-key unsettling. Yeah,
it was almost like, more shocking to see an auntie figure.
It was more believable to have somebody that was not like all big powerful.
True.
It was just some ordinary woman, which it would just be some ordinary person that kind of has people under their hat around her finger.
That's true.
So, I mean, I hated her because I hated her character. Freaking annoying, but I quite liked that she wasn't overtly.
No, I agree, and I think that gave her an extra sinister edge, because especially when she went back in and shot the guy, basically delivered her.
She was just like
brutal, bloody hell, really frightening. And then of course our 4 characters now, Joel, Ellie, and the boys, they go heading off. They get sort of caught in sniper fire. Is there anything else before that? They're on a journey, aren't they? I do like all the the
because Henry and Sam need to get out because Henry had killed Kathleen's brother.
That's right. So he's hunted.
So he needs to get out of there, which also Joel and Ellie need to do, but they need Henry and Sam because they know
the way out,
the area and they know how to get out.
I believe
and then
that.
they kind of, they all get along so well that they're like, maybe we should just stick together.
I like that, and I also like the fact that that kind of translates into television sort of format. The parts of the game that are quite sort of first person, you know, presumably you're making choices going down. I can feel, not in a heavy-handed way, the way in which this has been adapted from a game.
Yeah.
And I quite like that because it doesn't draw back from it. It kind of actually adds to it because you feel like you may be in control of some of it in some way. And then we have possibly, after having 2 episodes before where there was very little in the way of
zombies,
ghoulies and zoomies and clickers and all that kind of stuff, we then had potentially the most shocking, dramatic moment in the entire series.
Where the whole floor falls in and they all come running in.
Is that where that sort of bulb, is that what it means when the floor's doing that they're all underneath? And
I think it's all the roots and then kind of...
Thousands of them came flying out, and one of them's called a bloater.
The huge one, yeah.
He took one, he took the guy with the gun's head off, didn't he?
Yeah, he ripped his head off.
Oh my God, there's
that was
nothing
such
like
a
a
good
bloater.
scene. It was so shocking, and also for my boyfriend Patrick, who it's one of his favourite games, he said that does not happen in the game, so it was hella shocking.
Oh wow,
that
that's
happened.
good. Oh, so they're parking nice surprises for people who know the game.
There was no zombie.
But it was so well done because it was not like Train to Busan, it was not like The Walking Dead, it was its own thing. And as they came charging out, you were like, oh my God, it was total carnage. And people were being taken out everywhere, left, right and centre. And of course...
And it was really good as well because obviously you're set on that fact that the threatening group were going to be Kathleen and her people. You're like, oh God, they're kind of caught in this situation. And it was very close to Henry being killed by her, and so was Ellie and Sam.
Yes.
And it's just like a really shocking moment of, let me just shift the danger to all these zombies come running. And I thought Pedro's acting was so good in that whole scene of him as the sniper in the roof on the building. Good. And he's just having to like shoot anything getting too near to Ellie. And
that was so dramatic.
Horrible scene in the car where that little girl like flops into the car when Ellie's in there to try and get her.
There's nothing worse than a toddler zombie.
Yeah.
I mean, toddlers frighten me anyway, but a toddler zombie. No, you're right. I forgot about that. The sniper scene. I thought he played that so well because the building stress and the way in which he was protecting her by taking out the next kind of clicker or zombie. I mean, the worrying thing was that the bloater just ran off into the distance. So presumably there are lots of... What makes a bloater?
I'm not too sure. I guess because the fungus never stops.
But in them it just...
produces like...
Right. It bloats. It just never stops. It just never stops.
So you'll just get to a point where you are just fungus. Because there's also that bit earlier on in the season that we saw, I think like episode 2, where there's a person just like the fungus had just attached them to the wall type thing, and then kind of merged with the
Christ almighty. And then we have, so this is episode 5. This is a really good episode. We're probably focusing on this episode more than the next one because so much happened in it. But then of course you had the moment right at the end where the boys, Sam and Henry.
Sam reveals to Ellie that he's been bitten, and the way they did it in the show was so sad because Paddy also said in the game he doesn't tell Ellie that he's been bitten, and she just wakes up in the morning and he's turned.
She tries to rescue him.
But I just love the way they do it because he's got that little writing pad that he has because he's deaf, and he says like, when you become a monster, is it still you on the inside? No. And it's just because he's so much younger than how he is in the game, it hurts so much more because he's just so like innocent.
Tragic.
So she tries to like put some of her blood into his wound because she's immune. But unfortunately it doesn't work. And she wakes up and he's turned.
And that was so shocking. I thought it was very well done, the way she just looked over at his bed and it was the back of him.
He was sat up, yeah.
And then suddenly he goes absolutely nuts. And then of course it develops into this other scene where
Sam was attacking Ellie and they kind of fall into the room that Joel and Henry are in. And I thought that all of the acting in this scene was just so good because there's that moment of Joel immediately goes to obviously get Sam off of Ellie, and then Henry, being the older brother's defensive and is like, no, leave my brother alone, but then just reacts and like basically shoots Sam dead.
Oh my God.
And it's so sad, and then he can't believe what he's done, so he shoots him.
Oh my God, it's so dramatic. So and this is what I like about the series, they're not afraid to get rid of characters really quickly. We had the Offerman character, didn't we, Nick Offerman, the gay couple, they came, they went all in an episode. These guys, essentially these boys, came and went in an episode.
Yeah, and it shows how good the show is that you can introduce characters and kill them off in the same episode and you care so much about them.
And in a weird way, their presence and their significance reaches way beyond just the episode that they're in. Do you know what I mean? I've been thinking about the gay couple ever since they kind of...
I can't stop thinking about Henry and Sam.
And Henry and Sam are likewise
So
were sort of
tragic.
hanging over episode 6. And so, yeah, so at the end of that, I have to say one other thing, Bella Ramsey is absolutely... When you know a great actor, when you can see that she can act brilliantly with someone of Pedro Pascal's age, and with that boy, I thought she was so good,
Yeah,
the young
they
boy.
were so lovely together.
So we get episode 6. And this is like 3 months later, isn't it? After the death. We revisit the death. We have a sort of catch up at the beginning. And then the sum ups of the plot don't remind us of the fact that there's this wonderful scene where they're in this sort of icy area, sort of snowy area. And then they meet what feel like, and the reason I'm saying this is that the actor I know from a number of other films, and he often plays Native American Indian, because I think he is Native American Indian. Him and his wife were fabulous characters.
She was brilliant.
Oh my God, they're just sat in their lodge, and basically Pascal and Ellie have kind of gate crashed their pad, and they've got guns, and they're the most chillest individuals I've ever come across.
No, I really liked that scene.
I hope they pop back up.
Yeah.
And what's great about this is however small the characters are, or however big they are, they're really well drawn. Like even the woman, what was the name of the woman in the first episode who dies?
Tess.
Joel's Tess. Yeah, I mean, however long they're there, they're really, really powerful characters. This episode was curious because, of course, this is really the moment where Joel hooks up with his brother, right?
Yeah, Tommy, who's been trying to get hold of for God knows how long.
I like the way they're sort of riffing on the Wild West. You know how they were picked up by the guys on horseback?
Yeah,
and they were even using dogs to sniff them out.
Camp is a bit west.
Yeah, the whole thing's sort of Western, and then you'll see someone in a wheelchair walk past, and you're like, oh, it's Western modern. I was getting Walking Dead vibes with this community.
Oh, yeah?
I was getting that. It wasn't necessarily a bad thing. And then what do you think about Tommy, his brother? Do you like him?
It's so like how he is in the game.
Is
it's
it?
terrifying. Yeah, his voice is exactly the same.
Is it? Bit henpecked?
What?
Is he a bit henpecked? Is he a bit sort of in the hands of his wife?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Do you not think? I mean, I kept thinking...
Well, I don't know him necessarily in a bad way, but...
No, but I thought I suppose what they got across quite well is the extent to which a community like that has to protect itself from infection. Otherwise,
otherwise it all falls
remember
apart.
COVID. And so the moment that Joel opens up to his brother about the nature of Ellie, I'm really worried that his brother was going to go on one and sort of tell everyone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really did.
Yeah, I mean, I worried that, not from like a malicious way, because they're brothers, I don't think he would have done it maliciously, but yeah, I was worried that he was going to tell the wife while they were there and it kind of mess everything
A bit like
up.
Love Island. Yeah.
But it's also, this episode broke my heart just because we see so much of Joel's softer side and that he's actually really like, under this tough exterior is terrified.
Well, you get two things though, don't you? You get it really hammered home that he's killed innocent people. I mean, they really talk about that. I mean, Tommy's wife says, we know what he's done. Tommy says, we didn't need to. Yeah, and it sort of suggests that really Joel was the instigator and that perhaps they didn't need to. And I like the way that's kind of kept sort of ambiguous. But so you're reminded of his ability to be brutal. And yet at the same time, you're absolutely right. You could see him trying to be tough with Ellie in order to not reveal his vulnerability. And there was a bit of chat, wasn't there, around his daughter? Yeah, and it's just, just Pedro Pascal breaks my heart anyway, but seeing him sad makes me want to murder people. Yeah. But I know, I thought in it, and I very much felt like this episode's really setting up, like we're really getting into their relationship. Ellie and Joel's getting really close because that's like the best part of it all is their relationship. Their relationship is so good, and what you've got is that whenever the action sort of fades back, you've got the strength of their performances, the strength of their relationship. I was genuinely, spoiler alert, obviously we've already spoiled everything, I was genuinely in a state of distress at the end of this, because of course they head into that sort of hospital kind of environment, or college environment. The fireflies, they see signs of the fireflies, whoever they are. They're the guys who ran it.
The one that they're trying to get Ellie to.
Oh, get Ellie too, right.
Remember Fireflies?
Yes, yeah.
They're a rebellious group from the first episode.
That's right. But you've got these 4 guys who run at them and try and kill them.
Yeah, I don't think they're Fireflies.
No, they're not. And then something really dramatic happens where he gets, oh my God. We ended this episode with Joel on his back, bleeding out.
Yeah.
I literally stood up and said, Maddie, I don't want to spoil it, but please tell me he doesn't die.
I was like, he doesn't. It's only the beginning.
It's only the beginning, and yet there's only 3 episodes left. What are we going to do?
Because it'll be season 2.
Don't you think this is one of the best series that's come out in a long time?
Yeah, so good.
So good.
And I've got the frustration of it coming out weekly. I want to. Me and Paddy were saying when it's all out, I want to like watch it all again, but be able to watch it like back to back.
Can I come?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be there. Okay, guys, tell us what you think. What's your favourite bits? Are you loving their relationship as much as we are? I must admit, I am noticing that they're using different directors across the shows. I thought episode 6 was really. I thought last night the last episode was really nicely done, and episode 5-2 was handled brilliantly. I mean, you got some. It's cinematic, and yet at the same time, it suits the smaller screen. In a weird way. And I have to say, their green screen, which they have to be using.
I've not at any point been like, oh, that looks like a green screen.
No, it's sensational.
That looks bad. Like everything is so well done.
The landscapes are brilliant, and that really
so believable.
helps.
Even their lighting, like I'm not at any point going, oh, they're definitely in a studio with the light on and the green screen. Like when you're watching it, you just genuinely believe that they are in an apocalypse and that's how the world looks.
Absolutely.
Never questioned the set design once.
Really looking forward to the rest of it. Really looking forward to it. And in fact, I've just noticed that the last 2 episodes in the series are directed by a chap called Ali Abbasi, and he's responsible for a film that's out at the moment that we have to see called Holy Spider. It's an Iranian film, which apparently is batshit fucking scary. I think he's going to go in, but it's sort of psychological scary as much as kind of scary. So I think we've got a lot to look forward to. Great direction, great storytelling, good story arcs, great characters.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, Maddie.